What are the top 10 cards that we should be picking up from Age of Overlord? Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button, and remember, use discount code MCO40 over at Kong's Cards and save on your pre-order purchase. So we're going to be starting off here with the Infernal Flame Banshee, and I really wanted to mention this card because it's 2 level 4 monsters to make it. It actually is pretty good because you can detach material, take a power monster from your deck, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And if this card is banished and you control a power monster, you can special summon this card, and if you do, it gains 100 attack points for each of your currently banished monsters until the end phase. That's on a 1700. Now, budgetary cards, slightly competitive cards. I think the Infernal Flame Banshee has, honestly, some pretty cool potential, at least in the little long-term things, especially as a one-of here. I got to give it to the little tech choices. I think things like that, in the long haul, seem like they're going to be pretty decent. So, honestly, give this card a pickup, especially if you want to play anything pyro related. It's good. And then, of course, we have Darkhole Dragon. You know, like, people are psyched for this card, even though a lot of people are like, oh, this card's garbage. So this thing cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Darkhole Dragon once per turn. So if a monster or monsters on the field is destroyed by a card effect that did not target it, that's my favorite part. Alright, so Raigeki, Darkhole, Massive Board Wipes. Okay, you can special summon this card from your graveyard or your hand. And then if it's special summoned by this way, you can activate the effect during the end phase. You can add a Darkhole from your deck to your hand. Congratulations, they made a 3,000 attack point Darkhole Dragon. I can't wait for Raigeki Wing Beast to come out here in the future. Does this card have some serious application for competitive? I think the card is cool. I want to mention it as a pickup because you never know. We could get something game warping out here, and you might be like, oh, maybe I want to get that in a quarter century. There's always the possibility of something actually happening that could go topsy-turvy. And then we have the Novales cards in this set. That's going to be your spell card and your monster. Now, I'll be honest with you. A lot of the combos with the Novales stuff are pretty much novelty. They're very fun, though. I do expect at some point that they will continue on with the Novales lore, because what they gave the deck, the universal scale system to use that really they're not really using, which was very interesting. I will give them that. I loved the idea of what they were trying to do with this, but they just need a little bit more. And also, the Novales girl, the Poissonier, did fix a lot of the problems that the deck had. You needed a way to up the consistency of the deck, and that's what you really got with those 2 cards. So yes, I would give some consideration to picking this up. I honestly think that the deck is pretty solid still to this day, especially if you want to have some fun. And then, of course, the Pendulum cards, the Supreme King Gate Magician. I'm going to be honest with you, the extenders, the Exceed Pendulum stuff that we got with this, the Supreme King Gate Magician itself, good news is all this stuff is going to be relatively cheap. You're not going to have to dump out a crazy amount of money to pick this up. I mean, if you want to play the new Zark, that's okay, but if you already had Pendulum Magician cards and you're like, I'm kind of debating, do I want to get back into the world of this? Exceed is a super. Can't believe they stole the quarter century from that, by the way. And then to top things off, I mean, you just get a lot more variety for what you can kind of do with the deck now. The higher ceilings are what people want to see. They want to know and go, hey, this is pretty decent, at this stage. Once we have an idea what's going on with this, we can start to explore more avenues and a little bit more crazy antics. And then, of course, I am going to put the TG stuff on here. I'm not going to be completely negative that they just got reamed for 2 secret rares, between the Rocket Salamander and the Searcher. But I want to say, if you're somebody that enjoys this deck, be patient. Wait a little bit. Wait for the hype train that's going to crash through that door to erode away. Because, I mean, you're essentially playing a Synchro combo toolbox deck at this point. High Yusei, high Jack. I understand it's make your crazy boss monster at the end of the day and go. Alright, so it's really cool. I love the idea behind it. Is it better than the Jack Atlas, better than the Yusei? Well, I don't think so. There's a reason why the Jack Atlas and Yusei Turbo decks do typically do a little bit better at the end of the day. But if you want to pick this stuff up, be patient. All right, that's my honest opinion as to what we're going to continue to expect out of this. And then we have the Horus cards. Holy moly, man. This engine, I don't have a right answer for you when to pick this up, but I guarantee you that the craziness that people are expecting to hammer through that door with this package, especially the Tier Elements players, they are so excited for the chance to get these cards, all right? Like, this changes literally everything for them, and it's splashable to the max, and that's what you're paying for. When you're looking at these crazy price points for this set, and you're looking at this, and you're like, wow, these Horus cards these are crazy. Like, why are these so much? Splashability, all right? It's always going to be the same thing, all right? The more splashable a card is, the more uses it has, it's going to be more expensive. And you have a card that searches for literally the entire deck and draws a card. Yeah, that's everything that I could have actually wanted in a card. Good stuff. And then we have Doomsday Star themselves. You know, for the Anti-Zeus card that lets you drop this on top of anything on your field. The reason why it's Anti-Zeus is because it literally makes it so a monster with 3,000 or more attack points just can't. Alright, it doesn't, nope, they just can't. That's it. And it's also got a bounce. My favorite thing with this card, and I don't think a lot of people understand the application for this, is you use this at the end of your combo line. Alright? If your opponent has hand-trapped you into oblivion and cuts you off, but they set up a field and you manage to break it, you make this guy on whatever you're left with, and then you look at your opponent and you go, look at me. Look at me. I just broke your board. Get good. Alright? That's honestly the value you're getting with the Doomsday Star. So can we go back to the previous Horus statement? Splashability is supreme, especially when you're looking at more of these engines. Doomsday Star. Hey, more splashable cards. If you are a duelist out here and you are playing Rescue Ace, I'm so sorry. You have to get 3 secret rare searchers, a secret rare witch, and an ultra rare to splash into your deck. Good news, though, once you have those cards, I mean, you can play any splashable package with Doomsday Star till the end of time. Bad news is, Dragon Link players, I was seeing some variants of people trying out your deck as well with this, so maybe there is something to be said about splashing this package. But either way, we're back to the Horus, thing. Splashability, alright? I do think that this package is kind of pick-upable, especially if you're playing any of these other decks. Trust me when I say this, it's good. I mean, when we do see the reprint for this, it's gonna, but I don't think you're gonna see that until September next year. So, yeah, good luck. You're paying for cards for a year-long investment. That's rough. And then we have SP Little Knight. I'll be honest with you. This is probably the best card in the set. I do continuously, I'm surprised at how crazy this card just continues to hammer me through the door. People continue to look at this card and they're like, oh, so good. Yeah. But once again, we back to the theme of today's video. Splashable makes the card expensive. Yeah, that's what you're getting. Especially on immediate summon, if you use IP into something during the opponent's turn to make this, you get the spot removal. And then you still have the qualifying, pre-effect also on top of this. Yeah. It's really, if you've been SP Little Knighted, or they end on that card on their end field and they just straight look at you and they're like, yeah, please out this. And then you're like, oh, no, just kidding. It's so stupid how good it is, alright? And the last little thing I want to mention as the pickup here is the Magician of Bonds and Unity. As much as I hate the gimmick for what they did to this card with the different arts and everything, it still is a celebration of 25 years of the game. And if you can pick these up for $100 to add to your collection, I'm going to automatically toss it at you and go, hey, it's a nice collector's item. It's a nice monumentous occasion. And I always try to put it on the top of the list because it is the collector's piece of the set. It is the thing that is supposed to get you excited about what's going on here. And I'll be honest with you, I think it does it pretty well, actually. So what do you guys think about this? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.